is Katie. Welcome back to Making Waves. Thank you so much for being here today. So you've been planning your cruise for months and the countdown has begun and you finally have reached the most exciting day of all, Cruise Day, Embarkation Day. Today I wanted to share some tips to help you navigate the Embarkation Day process to help you have the best first day of your cruise ever. So stay tuned, let's talk about it. This first tip you've definitely heard me talk about before. If you are like us and you have to fly into the departure city, or even if you drive in, but your drive is longer than say 3 or 4 hours, always recommend that you come in the day before, spend the night at the hotel, so that way you can wake up that next morning and have a nice stress-free trip to the port. There's nothing worse than flying in the day of and having your flight be delayed or canceled, God forbid, and you're scrambling to try to get something else so that you can make your cruise on time. Definitely don't put yourself through that. You've been planning for this for too long. So it's worth it to spend that little bit of extra money to spend the night at a hotel the night before you sail. Tip number 2 is making sure that you're not bringing any banned or forbidden items on board the ship. You can go onto your cruise line's website to search for items that they ban you from bringing on board. I'm showing on the screen just a princess as an example as the one I just Googled, and you can read the whole list. A lot of these things are pretty obvious. Anything like weapons, that type of thing are not allowed. But there might be some other less obvious things. If you're a content creator, a lot of cruise lines no longer allow you to bring drones on board. And even things like small scissors could be forbidden on a lot of cruise lines. So make sure you're aware of that. What you don't want to have happen is you're finally on board the ship and you get called down to the naughty room, as I call it, where you have to explain why you've brought these items on board. And it just delays getting to the fun and relaxation of your cruise. If you've been on a cruise before, you probably know that most people, as soon as they get on the ship, head to the buffet area. While the buffet can be crowded throughout the cruise, it is no more crowded than it is on day 1, Embarkation Day. So I encourage you to research other places you might be able to eat on the ship. Sometimes a main dining room might be open or a specialty restaurant. I know on our last cruise, I had thought that one of the specialty restaurants was going to be open for lunch. Now, we were on board the ship pretty early. We didn't think it was open, and we did go to the buffet, and we battled some crowds, and the food was okay. As we were coming out of the buffet, we did discover that the one specialty restaurant that we were looking forward to trying was indeed open for lunch, and it just would have been a much more relaxing, enjoyable experience. So I encourage you to research that ahead of time so you have a plan when you get on the ship. So usually by early afternoon, an announcement is made that the cabins are ready to welcome guests. And the first thing I like to do, and you've heard me wax poetic about this before, is I like to disinfect all the surfaces. Now, this isn't because I don't think the cabin stewards do a great job of cleaning. I think they do. This is just a little extra precaution. And I don't just use any disinfecting wipes like the Clorox wipes that you buy at the store. I get these specific ones that are proven to kill the germs that cause norovirus. So I always wipe down all of the flat surfaces, the door handles, the countertops, the remote, all of that, just for a little extra peace of mind. I don't bring the whole container with me. I usually take about 10 or so, 10 or 12 of the wipes. I pack them in a small Ziploc bag along with some disposable gloves because it is a fairly harsh disinfectant. So you don't want to get that on your hands. Your hands will also smell like bleach if you do. But I like to do this first thing, and then I'll do it again, usually once or twice throughout the cruise. Again, just as a little extra insurance. It doesn't take much time. All right, the next thing I recommend doing is get that muster drill out of the way early. What I love that so many of the cruise lines do now is you can watch the video either on the app on your phone or on your TV in your stateroom. You can watch that, report to your muster station. It's not like it was years ago where everyone went to their muster station all at the same time. So people are crowding the elevators and the stairwells, and it's kind of mass chaos. So I like that you can usually do that fairly independently. And I know there are still some cruise lines, MSC, I'm looking at you, that kind of do it the old fashioned way where everyone has to watch the video all at once in their stateroom and then report to their muster station. But for the most part, it's so much easier than it was years ago. So I definitely recommend getting that out of the way early. By the way, if these tips are helpful, I hope you'll give this video a like. It helps our little channel be seen by more folks, and we really do appreciate it. The next thing I like to do on embarkation day is unpack. The beauty of a cruise is that you get to go to multiple destinations, but you only have to unpack once. So I like to get everything unpacked, and then I feel like my vacation can officially start. So I definitely encourage you to do that and get that out of the way early on day one. If you haven't already done so, definitely check out the cruise line's app. The app has such great information in it. A lot of times it will have your menus for the week, so you can take a look at those and decide, maybe if you want to do specialty dining, which nights you might want to do that. It has all of the onboard activities on it, so you can identify those and which ones you'd really like to attend. It has information on the shows. It has the drink of the day. Lots of great information is contained in that cruise line app, so definitely check that out and get familiar with it on embarkation day. Speaking of specialty dining, if you did pre-purchase a specialty dining package, or if you're looking to purchase one, do that early on embarkation day so you can book those restaurants if you haven't already done so you get your first choice of nights. Similarly, there are some cruise lines that require you to make reservations for the shows, either for the week or individually each day. So definitely review the app for what shows are occurring, at least on night one, and make those reservations. I believe MSC and Virgin Voyages require you to make reservations for the shows, and some classes of NCL and Royal Caribbean ships. So good to get that out of the way early so you don't miss out on attending a show you'd really like to see. All right, my next tip for you is that I recommend stopping by the spa. So even if you don't really plan to purchase any spa packages or spa treatments, most cruise lines offer tours of the spa, along with a chance to enter a giveaway for a free spa treatment, such as a massage. Now, you do have to be present when they do the drawing for the giveaway, so make sure you know what time to be back. What happens a lot of times is that people will enter, but they forget to come back for the drawing. So your chances might be pretty good to win one of those free treatments. The next thing to do on embarkation day is to explore the ship. There's so much to see just on the ship alone, and so getting to really understand the layout of the ship, take a look at the deck maps that are provided either in the app or in the kind of daily program that they provide to you, and really get to know where's your favorite spot to hang out during the day. Maybe it's not on the pool deck, but maybe there's a really cool kind of sky lounge that so many ships have. So if you don't explore the ship, you might not even know that that exists. So definitely recommend doing that as much as you can on day one. I have one bonus tip for you for embarkation day, and that is to stop at guest relations as soon as you board the ship to see if they have any discounted upgrades available. If the ship isn't sold out, for example, you're in a balcony cabin, but you want to see if they have any suites available that they're willing to discount. I've definitely heard of cruisers getting lucky with upgrades doing this. So it's definitely worth asking. I mean, the worst they can tell you is no, we're sold out. We don't have any upgrades available. But you just might get lucky and find out that you can get a really great deal on an upgraded cabin. Those are all my tips for you today. I hope those were helpful. I would love it if you all would share some of your embarkation day tips with us so that we can all learn from each other. As always, I so appreciate you taking time to watch. And until next time, happy cruising.